Wealth is not born in your hands, it is born in your mind. Every fortune that has ever existed began as a single thought that refused to be ignored. You see, labor only gives shape to what thought has already designed. Work is the sculptor, thought is the marble. If you believe that effort alone creates riches, you will work endlessly and still remain poor, because wealth responds to vibration, not exhaustion. A rich mind acts differently. It moves with precision, with clarity, with expectation. When you think wealth with conviction, your actions start to organize themselves in harmony with that belief. Your tone changes, your posture changes, your perception shifts, and the universe, it simply mirrors that inner certainty back to you. So, begin not by doing, but by conceiving. See wealth first in the silence of your imagination. That is the true labor, mental construction. And once your thought becomes the seed, then you must understand this truth. No man is poor unless he accepts poverty as permanent. Circumstance can strip your pockets, but only your thoughts can strip your spirit. You may lose possessions, you may face scarcity, but as long as your mind remains fixed on abundance, you are already on the road to it. Because poverty is not absence of money, it is absence of belief. A rich mind, even in hunger, radiates expectancy. It looks beyond limitation and sees potential in the dust. And every time you affirm, I am greater than this moment, life adjusts to honor that declaration. For the world doesn't decide your wealth, your inner world does. And the moment your mind begins to see beyond the lack, the outer world begins to follow its lead. And once you train your perception to see that truth, you start realizing that abundance has never been missing. Only your awareness of it has. The average person observes the obstacle. The rich thinker perceives the opening. It's not intelligence that separates them, it's vibration. Two men can look at the same barren field. One sees dust, the other sees future harvest. Train your mind to interpret differently. The richest people on earth are not those who found perfect conditions. They are those who saw opportunity hiding inside imperfection. Every moment carries both scarcity and prosperity. Which one you experience depends entirely on which lens you choose to use. And when you learn to choose abundance deliberately, something remarkable happens. You discover that wealth doesn't start with money. It starts with desire. Before any dollar was printed, desire was already circulating through the human heart. Every empire, every invention, every movement began as a quiet longing, a vision that refused to die. Desire is energy. It is the universe's signal that more is possible. Sustain it longer than your doubt. Protect it like a flame in the wind. Because the man who keeps his desire alive through struggle eventually bends reality around his conviction. Treat desire as sacred. Feed it with imagination. Guard it from fear. The world rewards not the strongest, but the most persistent vibration. And persistence, when infused with faith, transforms longing into law. For emotion, my friend, is what turns that law into motion. Because thought alone cannot create. Thought designs, but emotion animates. It is emotion that sends your idea into the field, giving it energy and direction. A cold thought remains still, but a thought wrapped in feeling becomes magnetism. The universe does not respond to your words, it responds to your frequency. If you think rich but feel fear, your vibration contradicts your command. But if you think rich and feel secure, truly feel it in your chest, you begin to attract conditions that match that feeling. Wealth answers to joy, not anxiety. It listens to certainty, not pleading. So let your emotions speak abundance fluently, and watch how quickly the outer world translates that language. And once you begin to feel this truth, you'll see that you will never receive more than what you believe you deserve. The subconscious mind will always defend who you think you are, even when it contradicts what you desire. If you imagine yourself small, life will shrink to fit your image. If you see yourself unworthy, every fortune will slip through your fingers. So think rich until wealth feels familiar. Speak abundance until it becomes your natural tone. A poor man may earn a fortune and lose it because he never updated his self-image to match it. Train your inner picture until success feels like home. When it does, the outer world has no choice but to deliver the furniture, and as that confidence grows into certainty, faith becomes the next inevitable step. Faith is not hope. It is knowing without proof. It is the bridge between imagination and manifestation. The man of faith no longer waits for evidence. He acts as though it has already arrived. And the universe, compelled by his conviction, fills in the missing details. Faith turns vision into instruction, a command that the invisible obeys. When you truly believe, your tone changes, your choices shift, and creation follows your lead. So never pray and wait, pray and move, because faith in motion becomes cause. And that cause, when maintained through repetition, leads you to the next great mastery of the mind. You cannot stop thinking of poverty. You must replace it. Every time fear arises, insert confidence. When doubt whispers, declare gratitude. The mind cannot hold two conflicting thoughts at once. Replace, don't resist. Redirect, don't repress. Each substitution rewires the circuitry of belief. Do this long enough, and wealth thinking becomes reflex. This is the art of mastery, not fighting darkness, but lighting new lamps. And as the mind grows steadier in this discipline, the imagination begins to awaken as its true workshop. Imagination is not fantasy, it is the prototype of creation. It is where all riches begin, not in bank accounts, but in inner vision. To think rich is to live in that vision long enough for the universe to catch up. The more vividly you imagine, the more detailed your blueprint becomes. Reality always follows imagination's architecture. So build in your mind what you want built in the world. The world is clay, imagination is hand, and once you have molded that inner masterpiece, seal it with the vibration that multiplies all things. Gratitude. Gratitude is the language of increase. When you thank the unseen, you command the seen. Each genuine moment of gratitude signals the universe, I already have, and whatever is acknowledged expands. Be thankful not after the harvest, but during the planting. Gratitude turns waiting into receiving. It transforms lack into abundance. And when gratitude becomes habit, fear begins to fade. Fear disguises itself as logic, humility, even wisdom. But its purpose is always to stop movement. It tells you, wait until you're ready, knowing you never will be. But action dissolves fear. Each courageous act reprograms your nervous system to prefer progress over paralysis. So whenever fear knocks, open the door and walk forward anyway. Because fear, once faced, evaporates into obedience. And when the noise of fear quiets, the mind can finally focus with order, not chaos. The universe rewards clarity. Vague goals create vague results. Know precisely what you want. Amount, purpose, time. The mind cannot direct what it has not defined. Write it, feel it, live it. Clarity is the magnet. A disorganized thinker repels prosperity because his energy is scattered. Focus your intention, and money will find you. For the subconscious mind, your banker responds only to definite instruction. Whatever you plant, it multiplies. Belief or doubt, courage or fear. It is the most loyal servant you possess. Speak to it daily, calmly, with authority. Give it the picture of abundance, and let it work in silence. Every command becomes a habit, every habit a destiny. When the subconscious accepts a thought as truth, it moves heaven and earth to make it so. So speak as a master, not as a beggar. Direct it, and it will obey. Wealth is an inner temperature. Until you can feel abundance in your body, you will unconsciously repel it. Most people ask for riches, but vibrate scarcity. Their nervous systems are allergic to success. Train your body to feel relaxed in abundance. Breathe as if wealth were natural to you. Soon your inner climate will shift, and your environment will follow. The outside world cannot resist a man who has made peace with prosperity. And that peace is maintained by the oldest friend of all progress, discipline. Inspiration may start the journey, but discipline finishes it. Consistency is the secret handshake of the universe. Every repeated act of belief strengthens the structure of your destiny. Say it, feel it, Live it again and again. Discipline is not punishment, it is power in rhythm. When your habits align with your purpose, success stops being effort and becomes identity. And once your purpose becomes definite, a drifting mind is a bankrupt one. But a man who knows what he wants commands the forces of life itself. Definiteness of purpose is spiritual currency. It instructs the universe with precision, and the universe always obeys clear orders. Every river knows its destination. That's why it reaches the sea. Be like the river, flow with certainty, and as you serve your purpose, compensation follows without fail. You cannot receive without giving. Life is a perfect accountant. Every act of genuine service returns multiplied. Think not in greed, but in value. When you enrich others, the current of wealth flows naturally back to you. Prosperity moves through generosity. To think rich is to become a vessel for increase, never a dam that hoards. And as you relax into this flow, struggle dissolves into alignment. Most people wrestle with their dreams and call it ambition. But force repels fortune. Harmony attracts it. True wealth flows through ease, not laziness, but certainty. When your thoughts, feelings, and actions align, life becomes cooperation, not competition. Cease striving, start allowing. The universe moves fastest for the calmest mind, and once you've learned that, you begin to master money itself. Money is energy. It obeys order, not obsession. The poor man serves money, the rich man directs it. Money is loyal only to purpose. When guided by clarity and gratitude, it multiplies. When worshipped or feared, it disappears. You are the source. Money is reflection. And when you finally understand that truth, you stop chasing wealth, you become it. To think rich is to stop reacting and start creating. It is to stand in your own power and declare, I am the origin of my fortune. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions vibrate in harmony, the universe becomes your mirror. You cease to chase opportunity. You attract it effortlessly. The mind, rich in gratitude, purpose, and faith, is already wealthy, no matter the bank balance. Because the richest treasure was never gold. It was mastery over your own consciousness. Do not wait to think richly until wealth arrives. Think richly now, and wealth will have no choice but to appear. For thought, directed by faith and emotion, is the only true alchemy, the power that turns the invisible into gold. Once your mind learns to think in terms of abundance, the universe becomes its reflection. And you, my friend, will finally understand that the greatest riches were never what you gained, but who you became.